Hey everybody, it's Marshall Monkey here. This is my Fuller House episodes 4 through 5 review. High five for Jackson, Ramona, and Stephanie, and also Mac's character development. I feel like all of these characters got their own fair share, even DJ too, but I don't think I'm going to talk about DJ as much as I am going to talk about Stephanie, because it was a big Stephanie episode for episode 5, and a big Jackson Ramona episode for episode 4. A little bit of Kimmy in there too. Throw Kimmy in the mix for her scene with DJ, which we are going to talk about. But, big news, Fuller House has been confirmed for Season 2. I am going to be reviewing it once it comes. I suspect that it will maybe arrive this year. Maybe not, I don't know. Just seems like it won't, but I don't know. I have no idea. It might come this fall, actually. They might film it during the summer. Although, Dancing with the Stars is coming back, and Jodie Sweetin, who plays Stephanie, is going to be on Dancing with the Stars. So I have no idea when Season 2 is coming, but hopefully they will announce someday soon when it will come. But anyway, let's talk about episodes 4 through 5. So let's get started. So basically what happens in episode 4 is that this is like the big Jackson Ramona episode. So what happens is Ramona's still feeling kind of not angry as much as she is like really sad about leaving her friends and leaving this and that and blah blah blah. She doesn't like school. So she tries to break out. Jackson, of course, is, the big thing with this episode is he's helping her a little bit. Has this big volcano thing in, the episode where they're doing science. Also, we learned about Lola, the character. If you haven't seen the back half of the season, Lola's a big character in Jackson's character development. So that's really interesting that we got to meet her in this episode. Also, one thing I'm going to talk about before going on is the big, a lot of people are really, I can't remember the word, really bashing, that's it, really bashing on this episode because of that joke that Stephanie makes in the beginning of the episode when Jackson walks in and says, "Sorry, I was up all night erupting my volcano." I don't know how I feel about that joke. I feel like when I say it, it's very uncomfortable to hear. You probably are like, oh, why'd you bring that joke up? But in the episode, I was like, you know what? I know what it means, and if you guys are watching this and you're old enough to know what that means, good for you, but I kind of thought it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I mean, it was like, whoa. Like, when I first watched the episode, I was like, whoa, I can't believe they made that joke. And I just kind of moved on. But it was okay to me. If you're watching it with kids, I recommend you maybe, accidentally muting that joke so they kind of don't ask, what the heck does that joke mean? That wasn't funny, or something like that. Maybe, accidentally muting that button. When I was like, oops, I muted it. Let me turn my sound back on. Yeah, but anyway, it was really interesting to see this episode. But like I said, a lot of Jackson and Ramona, they get to school. Jackson helps Ramona escape with this big explosion. We actually get to see, like I said, a little bit more of Lola. Didn't like her in the beginning, in this episode. I was like, you're kind of a weird character, and I don't know how I feel about you. Later on, love her later on in the season. She's amazing. I love her paired up with Jackson. It's really cool. But, yeah, it was really cool to see Jackson help Ramona out a little bit. Then they got in trouble, of course, with what happened in the end of the episode with DJ kind of giving Kimmy some advice. And Kimmy, really, this was a standout episode for Kimmy because I feel like, oh my gosh, she's concerned about Ramona. She's been moving around and it's been crazy, and I understand why she'd feel this way about her kid, and it's really interesting to see that as well. So I really liked what they did with that as well. It was really interesting. Really like that they had that parenting moment, and really like how she kind of you need boundaries and lemons. And I thought that was really hilarious too. Lemons of limits. That was really cool. That was a funny joke. And then, of course, Jackson and Ramona ended up sharing those chores at the end. Let's talk about what happened in the side story about this episode. I loved when Stephanie was taking over the pet clinic. And, of course, also the part where she lied about all of them being her kids. That was hilarious too. But when she was at the pet clinic, the skunk came in. Tomato juice. Oh, that was hilarious. I really liked her scene with the baby in there and the tomato juice. It was very funny. But what do you guys think about that? And of course, DJ taking a picture, putting it on Facebook. Holla! I thought that was really fun too. But let's go on to episode 5. So episode 5 was really interesting. High five for Stephanie and Jackson moments. And, well, we didn't really get a lot of Jackson. But Max, of course, especially. We did get 2 Jackson moments. Actually, we did get a lot of teenage Jackson moments where he was just the teen. You have the kid version where he's playing with Max and all that stuff, and you have the teenage version of Max, and that's a teenage version of Jackson, and that's what we saw. We saw the teenage version of Jackson in this episode. It was oh, there's this English girl here. Look how hot she is, or oh, I imagine all the girls in her underwear. That was just hilarious. Teenage Jackson versus kid Jackson. Which do you like better? Comment down below. No, that was a joke. But we saw a lot of Max in this episode. Max is talking to Stephanie about. Really, and this was actually really a big realization episode for Stephanie with the kids thing, which we'll talk about in a second. But Max is, getting ready for this school recital, I guess you could say. And so he's getting ready to play Old MacDonald Had a Farm. I love that song. Not really. But anyway, and then Stephanie ends up going with, I can't remember her name, but the English girl who's her friend from England that she, met over there. And they end up going to Coachella. I really liked how they kind of weaved Coachella into this. Like, it's like, oh, you're weaving Coachella in, though it's not Coachella season. And so they end up going to Coachella. Max plays Coachella with the trumpet. That was amazing. And like how the emoji guy liked the Old MacDonald song. Really funny, too. Iggy Azalea, contacts. Did she wear contacts? Because there was a joke about Iggy Azalea wearing contacts in this episode. I don't know if she wears them or not, but it's possible. But anyway, Max plays Coachella. He gets the courage to play the recital. And then once Stephanie gets back, she kind of talks about how she's outgrown the party scene and that she cannot have kids. The doctor says it's just not going to happen for her. That was really emotional. That was really intense. And I love how they addressed it in this episode. And that DJ's kids, like DJ literally says, my kids are your kids. And I love that moment because you never think back on Full House when you watched it, like season 8 when you see a little bit older of a Stephanie. You watch that and you really don't imagine seeing her like years later saying she cannot have kids. And that was just such a big moment. I feel like that was actually my favorite moment in the episode. Like, if I was doing top 5 moments, that would be moment number 1 right there. But what did you guys think of this episode? I can't think of anything else that happened in episode 5-ish. I think I pretty much covered most everything. I don't think I got the side story. I think there was a little bit of DJ in there too, but yeah. But what did you guys think of it? Comment down below. Links up there to my other videos. Links in there to my Twitter, Instagram, Vine, vlog channel, and Cine channel. Don't forget to follow and subscribe those. Update, if you didn't see my vlog channel, I just won a contest and won 2 3D tickets to Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice for free. Oh my gosh, that was super exciting for me this morning. Just entered that contest and boom, got it right away. I got my tickets printed out. Well, they're not really the tickets printed out, but it's like information to get the tickets when I get to the theater, and I have to take a long drive to get to the theater. So it's going to be really interesting, and I might vlog if Caden comes along. We have this big road trip out of it. I might vlog it too. So don't forget to go to the links down there, follow my vlog channel, subscribe, and all that jazz. But thanks guys for watching. Like this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.